Have you ever wondered what Christianity in Africa looked like before Europeans arrived, before colonialism, before the missionaries, before the narrative that Africans simply received Christianity from outsiders? What if I told you that Christianity existed in Africa over 600 years before most of Europe became Christian, and nearly 1,500 years before any colonial ship landed? This is a story you were never taught in school, the one that completely rewrites what you thought you knew about faith and history. Today we're going on a journey through ancient Ethiopia, Sudan, North Africa, and forgotten Christian kingdoms where faith shaped culture, science, and kingship long before colonialism was even a word. If you thought Christianity came to Africa only through slavery and colonization, this documentary will change everything. Welcome to the real story of Christianity in Africa. It didn't begin in Rome or Geneva. It grew and thrived on African soil. Africa's Christian story begins just months after the resurrection of Jesus. The book of Acts in the Bible records something extraordinary. A high official from Ethiopia, serving Queen Candace, traveled to Jerusalem to worship. This encounter happened around 34 A.D. That's only about a year after the crucifixion. Think about that for a second. The gospel reached Africa before it reached most of Europe. And it wasn't just a fleeting moment. The intellectual heart of early Christianity beat in North Africa. The great scholars, Tertullian, Cyprian, Clement, and Augustine, weren't Europeans. They were Africans. From ancient cities like Carthage and Alexandria, these North African minds shaped the core doctrines that churches all around the world still follow today. It was African scholars who first wrestled with and defined concepts like the Trinity and the divinity of Christ. So Christianity wasn't foreign to Africa. Africa helped define Christianity for the entire world. Let's travel to Egypt. Around 60 A.D., the Church of Alexandria was founded by Mark the Apostle himself. This church didn't just become a place of worship. It became the world's leading center of Christian learning. It was the birthplace of theological schools, a kind of ancient university that produced some of the most influential church fathers. The famous Library of Alexandria hosted intense Christian intellectual debates. It was here that a North African bishop named Athanasius championed the doctrine of one God in three persons, a cornerstone of the Nicene Creed, used in churches globally today. He fought against heresies and defended orthodoxy. Without Africa, many of the foundational beliefs of global Christianity simply wouldn't exist as we know them. Now let's move from Egypt down the incredible Nile Valley to the ancient kingdom of Axum, what we know today as Ethiopia and Eritrea. Around 330 A.D., its ruler, King Ezana, converted to Christianity. This made Ethiopia one of the very first official Christian nations in the world, long before most of Europe abandoned its pagan gods. And here's the most remarkable part. Ethiopia developed its own unique, independent form of Christianity. They translated the entire Bible into their own language, Ge'ez, centuries before an English translation even existed. They built awe-inspiring rock-hewn churches, literally carved out of solid stone from the top down. The churches of Lalibela still stand today as a testament to this legacy. 12 massive, monolithic cathedrals hidden underground, showcasing flawless architecture and incredible spiritual engineering. These weren't built by colonizers. They were built by Africans for Africans. Ethiopia had its own bishops, its own monasteries, and even sent its own missionaries into the Arabian Peninsula. Ethiopian Christianity was so respected and established that during the early Islamic expansion, it was famously protected. The land was referred to as a land of righteousness, a safe haven. This wasn't a fragile, imported faith. It was a deep-rooted, powerful, and self-sufficient spiritual kingdom. But the story doesn't end there. Just south of Egypt, 3 powerful Christian Nubian kingdoms flourished: Nubasha, Makuria, and Aludia. For over 900 years, from the 6th to the 15th century, this region was a Christian heartland. The kingdom of Makuria was so formidable that it defeated an invading army in 652 A.D., leading to a peace treaty that lasted for an astonishing 600 years, one of the longest peace treaties in recorded history. The walls of Nubian churches were covered in beautiful frescoes depicting a black Jesus, black saints and black archangels reflecting their own identity in their faith. What's more, their society was highly advanced. Literacy rates were so high that records show women writing legal documents and owning property. In Nubia, Christianity wasn't just a religion. It was the foundation of law, art, and education, thriving for centuries without any colonial influence. Even as we move closer to the era of European exploration, the story is not one of conquest. Before colonization, Christianity reached the Kingdom of Kongo in Central Africa through trade and diplomacy, not force. In 1491, the king, Zinga Nkubu, chose to adopt Christianity, and his son later took the Christian name Afonso I. But Afonso wasn't a puppet. He was a brilliant and strategic leader. He actively used his new Christian faith to strengthen his kingdom's political structure, improved literacy by establishing schools, and forged direct diplomatic relations with European powers, including the Vatican. We still have his letters today, written in perfect Portuguese, where he argues as an equal on the world stage. This wasn't a blind acceptance of a foreign faith. It was a strategic adoption. The people of Congo skillfully blended Christian beliefs with their own traditions, creating a unique Congolese Christianity that reflected their own culture. Christianity didn't erase African culture. Africans shaped Christianity through their culture. For centuries, the world has been told a lie, that Europe brought civilization and Christianity to a dark continent. But history, when you actually look at it, tells the complete opposite story. Africa helped define Christian doctrine for the entire world. Africa spread Christianity long before most of Europe adopted it. Africans built magnificent churches, monasteries, and theological schools that were centers of learning. They produced world-shaping Christian scholars whose ideas we still use today. Christianity in Africa existed not because of colonization, but in many ways in spite of it. So let's be clear. Africa did not just receive Christianity. Africa helped shape it, enrich it, and preserve it. Its roots run deeper than any colonial empire, and its story is one of strength, intellect, and enduring faith. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey to uncover a history that deserves to be told. If this story changed your perspective, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the histories you were never taught. We'll see you in the next one.